Listen closely. Do you think you're struggling? Do you believe life is out to get you, like you're some kind of victim in a harsh, unforgiving world? Welcome to Momentum Surge. Let me set you straight. Life isn't fair, and it certainly isn't easy. But if you want to survive, if you want to rise above the dirt and the despair, you need to be tougher than the rest. You need to be a fighter. And fighters don't whine about their hardships. They push through the pain, the blood, and the darkness. I've been where you are. In fact, I've been even lower. Want to hear a story? All right, maybe it'll open your eyes. But be ready, because this isn't some bedtime story. I was young once too, full of dreams and ambitions. Thought I was untouchable. But life is a way of stripping that optimism away. I grew up in a neighborhood where the streets were filled with broken dreams and empty hopes. Violence was a constant, and survival was all that mattered. You either learned to fight, or you got swallowed up. My father was a tough man, hard as steel, but hollow inside. He spent his days at the factory and his nights drowning in alcohol. He'd come home drunk, eyes burning with anger, fists ready to fly. My mom took the worst of it, but when he was still angry, he'd turn that rage on me. I learned early how to take a punch and keep moving. But the pain never truly left. It just settled deep inside, a smoldering fire of anger and resolve. There was one night. I was around your age, maybe younger. Came home late after hanging with some friends, trying to escape the nightmare that was my home. He was waiting. Without a word, he came at me like a wild beast. I fought back for the first time, landed a solid punch right to his jaw. I thought I'd won, thought I had finally stood up for myself. But then he pulled out a knife. He slashed at me, wild with fury, and I felt the cold steel tear into my skin. Blood poured out thick and hot, but I didn't back down. Something inside me broke. I grabbed a chair and slammed it over his head. He hit the ground hard, and for just a moment, I felt powerful. But then I saw my mom standing in the doorway, eyes wide with shock. That's when I realized, no matter how strong I thought I was still trapped in that nightmare. I ran, didn't know where I was going, just knew I had to get away. I ended up on the streets, alone and bleeding, but I didn't give up. I couldn't. I found myself with a gang, a group of outcasts. They accepted me, taught me how to survive, how to fight. We lived by our own rules, took what we needed, did what we had to do. It was a hard life, but it was mine, and I took full responsibility for every second of it. One night, we clashed with a rival gang. A brutal fight with knives, bats, and fists flying everywhere. I took down 3 guys, felt invincible. But then I saw him, the leader of the other gang, a giant of a man, as mean as they come. He came at me, and for the first time, I felt real fear. Real, bone-chilling fear. We collided in a storm of violence and blood. He got me good, left me lying in the gutter, bleeding, but I didn't give up. I used every last ounce of strength I had. I turned the tide, brought him down, and didn't stop. I hammered him until my fists were raw and bloody. When it was over, I stood there, drenched in blood, mine and his. And I realized something. I wasn't fighting every ounce of pain, every scar, every memory that haunted me. And I'd won. Not the fight, but the battle inside me. You think you've got it tough? You think life's too hard? You haven't seen anything. Pain, suffering, they're all part of the game. But you need to use it. Let it fuel you. Let it make you stronger. Every hit, every scar is just another lesson. Another step towards becoming the warrior you're meant to be. You think you're alone in this? You're not. We all have our demons. We all carry scars. But it's what we do with them that counts. You can let them break you, or you can let them forge you into something stronger. Something unstoppable. You have a choice. Lie down and let the world crush you. Or stand tall, face the darkness, and fight like hell. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to move through it. It's about standing tall when everything is falling apart. It's about being the last one standing, no matter how many times you're knocked down. And don't give me excuses about being too weak or too scared. Fear is part of life. It's what keeps you alive. But you have to face it, head on. Look it in the eye and say, not today. Today, I fight. and you fight with everything you've got, every bit of strength, every ounce of rage. Because in the end, it's not the strongest who survive. It's the ones who refuse to give up. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. But you got to dig deep. Find that fire inside and let it burn. Burn so bright that nothing can extinguish it. Not the pain, not the fear, not the darkness. You have to be your own light in the shadows. Remember, every warrior has a past. Every scar tells a story. But what matters is the future. It's what you do from here on that defines you. You can be a victim of your circumstances, or you can rise above them. Be the hero of your own story, not the tragic figure who gave up. So get up, wipe your tears, stand tall. You're stronger than you think. You've got the heart of a warrior, the spirit of a fighter, and no one, nothing can take that from you. The world's a dark place, but you can be the light that breaks through. You can be the force that changes everything. I remember when I thought I couldn't go on, lost everything. My gang, my friends, they were gone, killed, locked up, disappeared. I was alone again, just like before. And I thought, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm finished. But then I remembered something my mom used to say, back when she still had some fight left. She'd say, even the darkest night ends, and the sun will rise. I held on to those words, clung to them like they were all I had. Because even when everything seems lost, there's always a glimmer of hope. Always a reason to keep fighting. You think I got through all of that because I'm special? No way. I got through it because I refused to let life beat me, and I turned it into fuel. Fuel for the fire that kept me going. And you can do the same. That fire is inside you too. I can see it, but you got to unleash it. Let it burn. Look around you. The world is full of people who've given up. People who let life crush them until they became nothing. Don't be one of them. Don't let the darkness win. Stand up, fight back, and show the world what you're made of. Be the warrior you were born to be. I had a friend once, tough as iron, that guy. We grew up together, fought side by side. But he had a weakness. Loved a girl more than anything. Thought she was his way out, his chance for a better life. But life, it's cruel. She got sick, needed treatment more than we could ever afford. He did everything he could, fought harder than I'd ever seen him fight. But it wasn't enough. She died in his arms, and I saw the light leave his eyes. He could have given up right there, let the grief swallow him whole. But he didn't. He took that pain, that unbearable loss, and turned it into something powerful. He became unstoppable, a warrior with nothing left to lose. And in his honor, I fight. For him, for her, for all the people we've lost along the way. So, kid, what's holding you back? What's stopping you? You think you're the only one who's suffered? You think you're the only one who's lost something important? We've all got our scars, our stories of pain and loss. But it's what we do with them that counts. It's how we rise from the ashes that defines us. You've got that fire in you, I can see it. But you've got to feed those flames. Let them roar. Don't let the world put you out. Don't let the darkness win. Be the warrior you were meant to be. Stand tall, fight hard, and never give up. Because you're stronger than you know. And the world needs warriors like you. Fighters who won't back down. Who won't let the darkness consume them. The world's a dark place. But you can be the light that breaks through. You can be the force that changes everything.